Before I start this video, I just want to quickly say, if you've missed the first part of this video, it is on Ted2001's channel. There will be a link in the description to the part 1 of this video. Please watch his part 1 before you watch my part 2. This is a collab that we've done together, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into the video. So continuing off the list that Ted gave you, number 10 is Halloween 2013. Halloween's 2013. This is the Treehouse of Horror, the third installment we got in the Treehouse of Horror, and we got a lot of cool characters in this, a lot of returning buildings, a lot of spooky stuff all together. So we got characters like Boobarella and the Homer Simpson strongman costume, King Snorky. We got Kodos. We got Mod Flanders' Ghost. It was a really cool event. And it featured a kind of a different take on Halloween, a very interesting take on the Halloween. A lot better than, in my opinion, a lot better than the recent Halloween events we've got. So yeah, 2013 was a pretty cool event. Number 9 from our mixed choices is Springfield Heights. Now, of course, this isn't one that I particularly like, but it's on the list anyway because of Ted's decision. So Springfield Heights was a new update that obviously allowed you to build stuff beyond the mountains of Springfield, and it allows you to obviously have these a new currency and a new sort of crafting technique to get new buildings and decorations into your town. It offered two new characters, Paris Texan and Cookie Kwan, and it offered the prizes that you could get from the realty estate, which allowed you to get different prizes like the Billionaire's Heaven and the Ziff's Manor and the Springfield Lake, for example. It was a pretty cool event that we got last year, and yeah, so that's the Springfield Heights. So number 8 is the Xmas or Christmas 2012. This was the first Christmas event that was ever added to Tapped Out, and the first Christmas event and the first event overall that I experienced whilst playing Tapped Out. For me anyway, it was a really cool event, and it added a lot of characters such as Barney and Barney's Bolorama. It added stuff like the Plow King costume from Homer. It added the Maple store and so many other cool stores and characters into this game, including Santa's Little Helper. It was a really cool event with the Santa coin currency, which allowed you to freely buy what you wanted, which I really wish is a format they bring back to Tapped Out instead of having the crafting and the prizes. It'd be interesting if they could bring the coinage system or the currency system where you can freely buy what you want with the event currency. Number 7 is the recent Wild West update. So again, this comes down to Ted's choices, but this is a really cool event where they added a sort of desert feature to the Tapped Out, where you can now have desert panels, just like we have the dirt panels and the road panels. I'm going to call them panels. The dirt panels and also a dirt road panel. So 2 new panels, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's one good thing, and it added some cool characters like Gummy Joe, and we had so a lot of costumes, a lot of Wild West costumes for Maggie and Snake and some other characters. We also had the best character ever added to Tapped Out, the Tumbleweed. But yeah. It was a cool event, and of course it went with a Wild West theme where it added Wild Westy sort of buildings, but overall it was a really cool event, and I give it props for creativity, real good props. So let's move on. So moving on, we have the Tap Ball event. So the Tap Ball event is it was a last year event, and it was a very creative sport themed event. So it took a lot of characters and costumes and buildings from sporty sort of themed, like a sport theme, and of course it had a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of involving different countries with all the flags they added, and it was a very cool creative event. I liked it for the characters, such as Ferocious D. They added costumes like the Jockey Bart, and we also had other ones like the funny one they had for Jasper, and the one they had for Abe, the rodeo Abe. So some really cool buildings as well. A lot of gyms, and we of course have the stadium as well, which is a really cool stadium you can design, I guess. I really like the tap ball event. It was a very creative event, and so yeah, it deserves its spot here. The number 5 spot is taken by the Squidport or Boardwalk event. Now, of course, this added, or it was more of an update than an event, but it essentially added the boardwalk we now see and tapped out to our town. Before, we didn't have this, and of course it extended the sea and the beach. Before that, all you could do is look at it in awe, but now it's in the game thanks to this update. So it's a really cool expansion update of where, of course, you can now build your Squidport, putting some really cool buildings and some cool characters that walk around on the Squidport, the boardwalk performers like the crusty parody guy, I forget his name, the mime, and the flaming juggler. Don't know their names, but we also got some really cool buildings like the crypto barn and the turban shop, and yeah, some other really cool buildings. Some forgettable buildings, I'll give it that, but it's pretty cool. It's a really cool little expansion we can have, and of course you can decorate it and design it yourself, and it is a big part of the Simpsons in the show, so it was necessary to do this expansion update, and I do think it's really cool. So number 4 is the Monorail Event. So the Monorail Event, of course, added it's a pretty cool thing. Of course, now we can build the monorail through our town. It added it in a kind of a bit of a weird way with the trash thing. So it's kind of a crafting type thing. Of course, you have to collect trash and stuff and recycle stuff, and they kind of ruined it a little bit with that. But overall, it was really cool because now we can have the monorail around our towns, and we can build it how we like, and of course you can place it on the road and stuff. And it brought some really cool characters like Ray Patterson and the hippie and stuff like that, and some cool buildings as well. And of course we have a lot of stations and all that, and overall it's really cool, and it's cool to have the monorail going around our towns. And of course it's one of those imprinted events that is going to be in our town forever. So we're getting into the top 3. And number 3 is the best, well, one of my favourite updates. It's the Whacking Day update. And of course, the Whacking Day update was a very creative update. I'm going to give it props for creativity. It was a very creative update that, of course, was developed from one episode and one fictional, I guess, holiday that's in The Simpsons. Now, of course, Whacking Day in The Simpsons is a fictional holiday that the people of Springfield celebrate. It's the day that Jebediah Springfield drove the snakes out of Springfield, so it was habitable. And of course it was made and developed into a tapped out event. So this tapped out event was a few years ago now, and it was a pretty cool and pretty memorable event for me anyway. And of course it added a lot of cool characters like Dredrick Tatum and Miss Springfield, and it added some cool buildings like the Sleep Easy Motel and Fort Sensible. Added some less not the amazing costumes like the Ninja Homer, but overall was a really fun event. We also got a lot of snakes like Lumpy. Lumpy's a great snake. And some overall pretty cool currencies. Obviously you had to whack the snakes, and it was very creative, and it's kind of amazes me that they made such a big event from a one episode thing. Like obviously lately we've got some smaller events like the Firehouse event and the Chili event, and those events aren't really that big. They're kind of small events, but this was done from one episode, and it was developed from that, and it's a really memorable episode and event. So the next event that gets onto this list is Xmas 2013. Now, of course, this was a really cool event that added the personal prize track. This was before we had the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 format. This is when we had the just normal prize format. And of course we had some pretty cool prizes like the eggnog bar, the holiday tree, the Santa Flanders costume, the Costingtons with Mr. Costington, and things like the Springfield Mall and the skating rink, and some other really cool things. It also added the Happy Elves ride, so you could have a little extra thing in your Krusty Land. We also have things like a lot of decorations they added, and they added a lot of characters such as the Grumple and the Snow Monster and the Yes Guy as well. So they were some really cool event prizes. Also the community prizes, which were really cool, and it's a really nice way of doing it. Obviously the community helping each other to get items is it's a really good idea, and overall it was a really fun, and it was a really good event, and I enjoyed it. So yeah. So now we have that number 1 spot. Can we have that drum roll? The number 1 spot goes to the superhero event of 2015. So last year's superhero event. So what can I say? Me and Ted, we came to the conclusion from our lists. What we basically did is we took the highest ranked one that we both had, and I think it was my number 1, it was his number 2. So of course, or maybe was that vice versa? Sorry, vice versa. It was my number 2 and his number 1, and we essentially mashed them together. And we thought, well, there we go. There's our good event. There's our main event. So yeah. It was a really cool event. Overall, it added a lot of characters, such as Radioactive Man, and of course we had the the Rex, the bigger Rex. I don't know his real name. And we had Dr. Colossus. Isn't it? We had the stuff like the Death Mountain. We had Fallout Boy. We had the Pine Man costume. We had the Bartman costume. We had loads of cool costumes, loads of cool buildings, and overall it was a generally really cool event. And of course it was done solely off it was based off superhero themed episodes, and it was a really fun event. The first one around. The second one was made it kind of even better, because it kind of showed how good that event was and how creative it was, and how we could literally off the back of it we could have a sequel to the event. Overall, this event was just brilliant. It was so perfect. It was the one. It was it changed the text, it changed the music, it changed everything off Tapped Out to a whole comic booky theme. And overall, I think it was just a really fun event, and especially a really memorable event for me and Ted. So yeah, that's it, guys. So that's it for the list. If you want to click off now, I don't blame you, but I just want to quickly mention something at the end. So this was really cool, and of course we didn't do it together, so to speak, but we designed the list together, we messaged each other, and we managed to get the list together, me and Ted. So it's really cool to do a collab with a different Tapped Out YouTuber, and I do hope to do this again one day with either Ted again or with another Tapped Out YouTuber. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it was a fun list to make, and I did enjoy making this video as well. So yeah, if you like this idea of collabs, please tell me, and definitely please check out Ted's channel and go subscribe to Ted and give him some support and stuff, because I think his videos, they're a different format to mine, and of course he doesn't do the whole top 10 thing usually. This is just something he's done for the collab, but he does do pretty good coverage on the events and updates that are brought into Tapped Out. So go support him for that, and I have promoted his channel before, or giving him a shout out before. So yeah, please go check him out. I know this list is obviously different to my previous list when I did my top 10 events. A bit different. We decided to filter out the levels, of course, and we also didn't include some of the smaller events, but and we kind of made lists across paths, and that's how we sort of did it. But of course it's a bit different to my video, but that was because we had to put both of our opinions together to actually come up with a list. So I hope you enjoyed anyway, guys. I hope you liked the event, and yeah, the video, and I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and yeah, go check out Ted's channel, and please subscribe to mine too if you're watching from Ted's and you want to watch these videos. Thank you. Goodbye.